session on becoming a business doctor. Now, many of you are thinking, you don't want to go to medical school, and you're not interested in health or being a real doctor, and this has nothing to do with that. Basically, what I'm suggesting is that in marketing and sales, you approach it in an authoritative manner, as if you're the expert who's coming to solve the big problem of your customer or your potential client. And one person I've done some training with is Wyatt Woodsmall, and he recommends that, or he suggests that if you're able to eventually explain a person's problem better than they are, that they will instantly, subconsciously, and automatically trust whatever solution you provide after that. So if somebody comes to you and says, my business isn't growing, at 10% a year, it's growing 1% a year, and I believe it's because of customer service, and I'm so distracted all the time, I'm doing all these different things at once, and the person comes to you and explains, oh yeah, has this happened, does this happen, do you feel like you have to work nonstop around the clock, and there's never enough time in the day, and they explain your problem better than you can, then you're going to trust them, say, oh yes, you understand me completely, thank God, what should I do, I need help with this, and they're searching for somebody that understands them completely and can help them get to the next level or the next step or the next goal for their business. And this is similar to when you go to the doctor. You might say you have a knee pain or a shoulder pain, and he might say, does it hurt when you go like this? Does it hurt when you play tennis? Does it hurt when you write? Is it a sharp pain? And you say, yes, yes, yes. And then at the end, whatever suggestion he has, you trust because he identified with your problem. You guys got on the same page, developed some rapport, and now you're going to trust whatever solution he provides, typically. And so this is a strategy you can use in business, and it's really not manipulative. It's really just how communication works and how humans want to be received. People want to be understood. So this is a sales approach that is similar to, I think, something recommended in a book called Spin Selling. And basically the approach is that when you meet with somebody, typically in a sales presentation, you might sit down, you have a half hour or an hour booked, and for 80% of that time, you're pitching. You're going through a PowerPoint, going through your one-pager product description, and you're trying to sell that person on your product or service. Now, instead, what you should be doing is flipping that around. And instead of pitching for 80% and then seeing what the questions are during the last 20%, you should spend 80% of your time asking questions. Does your business hurt here? Are your sales down here? Do you feel distracted here? Do you have priorities here? And you should ask questions and questions and questions until you narrow in on what their exact problem is, their exact issue, confirm all their exact symptoms, and repeat what they've said in different ways so that you can make sure you're on 100% the same page. By that time, a few things will happen. One, you will understand their problem very well. If you don't understand it better than they do, hopefully you'll at least understand it just as well as they do. Next, they'll feel understood, they'll feel respected, they'll feel listened to. That probably doesn't happen very often. And then finally, when you're trying to close that client, what you can do is integrate all those things you now know about them, use their same words and vocab, their same slant and perspective and biases towards pitching that product or service, so that you kind of move it through this filter that allows them to see the true value of your product or service through their lens, and it's translated into their language and their world. And that can be really powerful. And if you use this strategy of becoming a business doctor, over time, two things happen. One is that if you work in the same niche or industry, eventually you will know your potential clients' problems better than they do, because during each of these sessions, you're getting up to the same level as each person. So eventually, that knowledge will aggregate, you'll get to know their problems better than they do. The next thing that will happen is that you'll be able to have such a high level, great understanding of this industry by asking all these questions that compared to your competitors, you're going to have a higher closing rate, and you're going to have a great wealth of knowledge of where the market's headed next, what products you could add next, what bonuses to add to your services or products, what customer service issues exist, why people aren't buying on your website when you're not talking to them in person. So this is a really great way to approach marketing and sales. It's kind of a win-win in both directions, and it's something that I know works very well from personal experience. So thank you for joining us today. Again, this is businesstraining.com, where you can double your qualifications and boost your compensation.